Where we're getting to a new Gemara tonight. So again, it's the same two names. It's going? Fine. Rabbi Yermia says, and some say it was Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Targum Shel Torah, the Targum, the parish that we have next to the Torah, Inklas Hager, it's called Targum Inklas. Inklas Hager Amri, he's the one that wrote it down and created it, Mipir Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Shia. He learned it from his Rabbeim, who were Tanuim, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Shia, that he learned by. Fine. Says the Gemara, Targum Shel Neviim. If you open a Sefer Nuvi, so you have a different Targum. It's not the same people wrote it. Targum Shel Neviim, Yonasan ben Azil. It's called Targum Yonasan. We have it on Chimish also. But the main Targum on the Nuvi, if you open, what's a Moshe and Ami, is steigen away in Nuvi. So you go on the side over there, that Targum is Yonasan ben Azil Amri. Where did they get it from? The P, Chagi Zechari Melachi. Chagi Zechari Melachi were Neviim that were friends of Daniel, the Kitzer, and Bovel. So that is where the Targum on Nuvi comes from Yonasan ben Azil, that he learned it, he heard it from Chagi Zechari Melachi. Says Gemara, when is Dazeya Eretz Yisrael Arba Mayas Parsa Arba Mayas Parsa. When Yonasan ben Azil wrote the Targum on Nuvi, this is very interesting stuff. Eretz Yisrael shook over an area. There was an earthquake, the size of 400 parsa by 400 parsa, which according to Rashi and others, that's the full size of Eretz Yisrael. Again, we use different measurements today, miles and acres and kilometers, but the whole Eretz Yisrael started shaking. The Gemara is going to explain why when he started writing his translation on the Nuvi. And what happened further? It's not interesting, a little Agadah to Gemara today. Yatzasu Baskol, a Baskol came out, a voice. Pashtasa means a daughter of a voice, but it means a voice from heaven. I remember once seeing something because it sounds like an echo. It's called like a daughter of a voice because you hear it like in an echo. So it's like already a daughter of the original voice. Yatzas Baskol v'amr ma mi hizeh shagulis sesurei levnei Udam. Who is that has revealed my secrets to Bnei Udam, to people, meaning they're not supposed to know this stuff? Ummed Yonasan ben Azil al Raglov. Yonasan ben Azil, who had written this commentary, he got up on his feet, v'omer, and he said, Anihi shagilisi sisurechel v'nai Udam. I'm the one who has said your secrets. I'm the one that's being Megila, your Sayyidis to Bnei Udam, to people. Guli v'yadil v'nechu. And he said, you should know, he was speaking to the heavens, to Hashem, and he said, you should know, Guli v'yadil v'nechu, it's clear, you should know, Shaloi l'chvoiti yusisi, I didn't do it for my own glory. V'loi l'chvoit bais abba, I didn't do it for the glory of my father's house, my family. Elu l'chvoit yusisi, I did it only for you. I'm not doing it, I'm not in this for myself. Shalayarbi machloikes b'Yisrael, that there should not be different interpretations. That means, it could be machloikes, no, it means that. You know, you have to just come out with a clear parish, a clear translation so people know. V'oid, bikesh lagalas targum shel ksivim. Now, he wanted to go one step further. So, Nuvi has a certain amount of Sayyidis that if you, with his commentary, you could understand certain future things. But Ksivim is even more so. Ksivim is Shir Ashirim and Eichu and Daniel. It's certain even more. So he wanted to write that. Yotzes Baskal v'Amriloi, a Baskal came out and said, Dayechu, Genig showed you have done enough. My Tama, what's the reason? Mishem de Izbay Kaitz Mashiach. Because it has. Why was it so important that he doesn't write a Targum on Ksivim? Because in Ksivim you have the end of days when Mashiach is going to come. We just had last week that when Yaakov Avinu wanted a bikesh legalas asaket, he wanted to tell his kids when Mashiach comes, and Hashem, the Riach HaKodesh left him. So he forgot. They told him, they stopped him from Shemayim. So 1 second, how many lines did we do over here in this? Yeah. Okay, let's just do a few more lines, and worst case, Shalom will redo it on Mi'etz Hashem. The Gemara, Vayikri b'Seifer b'Toyos Elikim. Sorry, B'Targum Shal Torah Inklas Hager Emri. Do you want to tell me that the Targum on the Torah, like we started off, the Targum on the Torah was Inklas, Targum on Nevi'im was Yonasan ben Azil. Targum Shatayra is really Inklas Hager, fragt the Gemara. But Omer of Eike Bar Oven, Omer of Chananel, Omer Rav, Maidich Siv, what's a pusik that is written in Nehemiah? It's a pusik in Nehemiah. By Yikri, they read, they read in a scroll, in a cipher, B'Tayra Sur Leikim, Mefeirish, it was clear, V'Shoyim Seichel Yiviri B'Mikra. And they V'Shoyim Seichel means they put in Chachma into it and they understood the Mikra. The Gemara is going to break down what does that mean. Vayikri b'Seifer b'Tayr Selukim Zem Mikra. This means the Chamishachim Shatayr, the Tayr. Mefeirish, explained clearly. Mefeirish means goes on the Targum. The Shoim Seichel, when it says that they put Seichel, they put wisdom into it. Aili Psikim. These are breaking the Psikim into. If you think about it, we're used that Chimish has Psikim, Pasuk Aleph, Pasuk Bayis, but it didn't always have it. It just was a straight flow. Some say this goes to Messiahs. If you know, there's certain words in the Torah that the Kri is one way, but the Messiah of how we pronounce it is a little bit different. There's a few words like that in the Torah. So anyways, bottom line, what are we trying to ask from this Pusik? You want to tell me that the Targum was written by Inklas Hager, who was in the times of the Tanuim. But the question is, we have a pusik in Nehemiah where it's already referring, right? It says Vayikri b'Seifer b'Tayr Selikim, and it says over there, one of the things that we understood is that V'Soim Seichel, Mefeirish Zeh Targum, that we already had a Targum, and this is in the times of Nehemiah, who was much before the Tanuim. He was from the times of the Nevi'im. Says the Gemara again. So we have a question. You want to tell me Yonis and Azil came up with Targum? It goes maybe 1,000 years before him. And what's the answer that we have again? Shikcham, it was forgotten, v'chazri v'yizda. Meaning, you're right. You have a source in a pusig in Nehemiah that seems to refer to Targum on Torah. It was taka known, and then it was forgotten. Yonis and Azil, it's like when somebody does the research, and this happens today also. Somebody really does the research, and he digs into, and he brings out all the old... shtickle on video over here, but so Pink. First of all, there's a few interesting things from these Gemuras. Number one, it's known Hasidim don't really learn Nuvi so much. So one of the reasons is Grada because of this. If you know, let's say Christianity is built officially upon a couple of psikim in Yeshaya and in Daniel. Pretty much that's it. And they found, and it's completely. If you're into the stuff, I think maybe I told. Check up Rav Tovia Singer on YouTube or anywhere, and he's a major bookie on Mamash. He destroys them piece by piece. It's incredible. But the point is, one of the reasons is that Christianity is old. They take an avius and they have no idea what it means. Especially today, they don't even speak Hebrew, and they put it into things that are not there. So it's rather one of the reasons why why in general we don't learn the Nevi'im, we don't learn the Ksivim so much. So Bekitzer, Balamasa, because just this Gemara reminded me of it because the world started shaking when he was going to Megila. He wanted to write a commentary on Ksivim, and they said, no, dort steitchen when Mashiach is going to come. So they didn't want him to write it. They stopped him from that. No, but the last part of the Gemara just reminded me now is that, I was just saying, what does it mean that it was forgotten and they did the research? Sometimes you have so Pink Take, one of the Tovia Singer Shirim, somebody calls him up and asks him that is it shaykh that Yashka wasn't maybe he was a regular just good Jewish guy. So basically pretty much maybe he was just a good guy and he wasn't, and they made up around him, which is partially true. So he asks this caller, it's on a phone where you could call, and and it's on YouTube. He said, ask the caller, are you by any chance a former Christian? So this Jewish lady says yes. Her name is like something Chana or now or something. He says, I'll tell you what you're trying to do. And I says, please be moichel me. He says, what you're trying to do is, you found out that Yashka is not true. You grew up Christian. So it's hard for you to let go. So instead of just deleting him from your hard drive, you're trying to say, maybe he was just a good Jew and I could still have some kind of connection with him. And he says, I'm telling you, he says, so the reason I'm mentioning it now is because there's, I forgot which author, but he tries to explore who the historical Yashka was not just from a Jewish perspective in general. Just as this reminded me, because we had two Gemuras, the last time we ended with this, but now again, is that we had something that was shakcham, it was known, and then it was forgotten, And like we just said now, really there was a targum already in the times of Nehemiah on the Torah. It was forgotten, and Yonasan ben Azil brought it back. So yeah, Atkan, so I think that's good for today, and it's a Shem Shalom is back for next time.